It's legendary. So you should definitely read that. I would say our boy over here, Audie, should also definitely read it.
No, I would actually advise against it if you are like
Why?
Audi. So here's the thing. I am very strong. I feel very strongly about this point. Dog, shut up. But yeah, sorry. I also feel strongly about that point. But the point I feel really strongly about is that if you are susceptible to feeling sad for very long, or if you are actually depressed, or if you have anxiety, it is better for you to get those resolved before you go into philosophy, because philosophy is inevitably going to give you depression and anxiety because of its very nature. It literally exists to tell you life is meaningless. If you look at literally any philosophy, it is life is meaningless, unless you go into religion where they're like your life is meaningless but you get into heaven later, or hell, but
Yeah, but
your life is
that's, let's
meaningless.
see, that's one way of perceiving it, like, because it's not, it was to find out that it's meaningless is not depressing for me. It's like, yes, finally it's meaningless, so it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
Yes,
but
my
the thing
idea
is,
of it
when you're
was right all
depressed already,
along.
when you're depressed already, you're like, I was right, life is
I
meaningless,
see what
fine.
you're trying to say here about me. I see. No, but that's up to Audi, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it's I think okay, look, I'm not against
yeah,
philosophy,
of
okay, because I
course.
love philosophy. I think everybody should be into philosophy. I have a friend who hates philosophy and thinks it plays no part in his life, but he literally cares about people being honest to him all the time. I'm like, that's literally what philosophy is.
Yes.
You're basically following Kantian ethics. You're like, everyone
Yeah.
should say the truth all the time. That's philosophy,
Yeah.
you dumb bitch. But yeah, everyone should be involved in philosophy, but only if you can take it. It can get very, very depressing. I mean, okay, let's be honest. In the modern world, the worst job you could have is a philosopher, because firstly, everybody's thought of these things and nobody takes you
Yeah, nobody.
seriously.
Yeah, like, what's wrong? What are you doing?
Okay.
Why are you here?
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
people who do take you seriously are like, okay, you know what? This has been said in the past by
Yeah.
this guy in the year, I don't know, 1500, and you're just copying him, so you feel
Yeah.
like shit
And
anyway.
also,
And then
like, understanding it is like, if you read thus spoke like Zarathustra or
Zarathustra,
something,
yeah.
like, every word you're like, what the fuck is he trying to say? What the fuck? I don't understand shit. Like, you're like, what the hell is this? It's just
Yeah.
gibberish until you like
Which
actually
is a
take time, like break down every, like, and try to understand everything. You're like, what the fuck is this from the outside, right?
which is a great example, because Nietzsche considered, so he preached about the Ubermensch,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the Buddha was the prime example he gave of the Ubermensch.
Yeah.
He said nobody has been the Ubermensch since Gautama, and I was like, dude, that's kind of a high bar to set, for the rest of humanity. You're like, either become the enlightened one as acknowledged by the world, or you suck.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Nietzsche also went into insanity by the end of his life and couldn't really publish his books,
Yeah.
and was rejected by the world because of his
No,
philosophical
he
thought, even though
was.
he became a
No,
famous
but
philosopher after his death.
yeah, but like, I'll take it back to like Siddhartha, the book, like, there's a conversation that the character Siddhartha, who is not Buddha, like, he has a conversation with Buddha, right? I don't know if it
Yeah.
happened there or before, but he basically, which is very interesting. I really like this. Like, I thought about it a lot after that also. Like, he talks and he's like, okay, they follow, like, people follow you, like, you've people follow your principles and this and that to live life and all this, right? So he's like, why
Yeah.
can't I make my own path? Why do I have to like follow your path
Yeah.
per se? Why can't I make my own path to enlightenment? And he's like, yeah, you can do that. Like, he, so I was like, you're like, that's what people do, right? Nowadays, like, if you see any religion, like, I'm not saying it's wrong or anything, I'm just saying it's what I think about and observe. Like, people do follow paths set by like whoever, Buddha, Jesus, whatever religion, like tutorials, I would call it, to live life, or like societies tutorial, whoever these religions. And like, you can, like what Nietzsche was also saying, to become Uberman, you can still have your own path to it, you can still make your own version of it, you don't have to follow it, which is what I found very interesting, that Siddhartha in the book was talking about that. I really like that aspect of it, because yeah, it is possible, you don't need to follow a set path, but there's nothing wrong with, because his friend, I think, I forgot god,
Yeah.
I forgot his friend's name, Sudama.
Yeah, even I forgot
Yeah,
his
but
name.
Govinda, I don't know.
Yeah, Govinda.
Yeah, Govinda, right? Yeah. So
That
Govind,
sounds right.
yeah, Govinda in the end did follow a set path. He was a disciple of Buddha, right?
Yeah.
But in the
He
end,
wanted to be a disciple of Siddhartha, but he
yeah,
ended up being a
yeah.
disciple of Buddha.
But in the end, he like nothing, it's not wrong. It like, you know, in the end he's
fine. He's
yeah,
happy.
it's fine, he live a pretty good life, so there's not right or wrong. But I found it really interesting that they had that, you know, that insight in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that is why philosophy is important, because it like the problem with a lot of there was this one guy who, so I don't believe in God as a God per se, and we had a discussion in my classroom where where the professor asked, is there anyone who doesn't believe in God? And
I
I
remember
like
this.
I knew at least 10 people in my class who didn't believe in God, and I raised my hand thinking, I was like, okay, these guys are going to do it, he's going to say some random
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And I look around and none of these fuckers actually raised their hands. I was the only one. And I'm like, what? And then this guy looks at me, he's like, oh, you're the only one. I'm like, hey!
Well, I
Way
see.
to go, guys. I see. And then he issued like a challenge to me. He's like, in 1 week, either you will start believing in God or I will
Oof,
become atheist.
oof.
I was like, you got it. You have no idea what's coming to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he never talked to me again after that. But one guy, I don't know if I offended him or if I just shocked him to his very core. A Christian guy, a friend of mine, like we were working on projects together. Like he's a nice guy. Very like he's a good Christian. He's a very good person. He doesn't believe in, like, you know, he doesn't hate people because they don't follow his views.
Yeah.
But he was very shocked that I didn't believe in God, and I had gone to the bathroom and I came out and he was standing right outside. He's like, you don't believe in God? I was like, shit, offend you. It's just a view. And we had a long discussion afterwards.
Yeah.
He was trying to understand why I wouldn't, and he was like, how do you be a good person without God? I'm like, listen, you're still a good person. It's not like
Yeah.
God is making you a good person.
Yeah.
You are doing good things, and that is why your religion even says you're going to go to heaven. Okay, God gave you free will to do good things according to your own ideas. So
Exactly.
you're
You can
still
do
a
the
good
same
person.
things. You can do the same
Yeah.
things without being religious. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but by the end of it, it seemed like his eyes had opened a bit, because he was like, you can be a good person without religion.
Yeah.
And he came back the next day. He's like, no, you know what? I still want to believe in God because it helps me be more good. I was like, dude, it's up to you. If you
Yeah.
can't believe that something is making you good, you can, as long as you're a good person. I
Yeah,
don't really care. If
exactly.
you're a shit person,
Yeah, that's what.
I'm not
See,
going to talk to you.
all religions at the base just teach you how to be a good person. That's what they are. Yeah.
It's more like what I don't like is a perversion of the religion itself. Like,
Yeah,
for
people
example,
modify it and like make different
own benefits.
their own versions of, yeah, exactly, Audi, their own versions of their religion, you know, whether you can call it aggressive or nationalistic, or you can put whatever adjectives and verbs you want on it. But yeah, people create their own versions of the original thing, you know. Yeah.
Let's
And it's
leave it
really
at that
weird
boundary.
because-
Where let's not step into that territory, because I feel like that is
Yeah.
it's a legitimate problem.
Yeah,
because
it is.
it's a
Yeah.
problem
When
as
you,
such.
when you have America, where people are like, if you are XYZ, then I hate you because my religion tells me to hate you. Like, no, your religion doesn't tell you
Yeah.
to hate ever.
Yeah, ever.
Your religion
Doesn't.
always says, do this, love people, love your neighbor, help the people who need help. It has never ever in the history of the book has ever said, you know what, that guy, hate him.
Yeah, I hate it.
That specific guy over there, fuck you in particular, hate that guy. It never said that.
Yeah, it never says that.
And it has been updated multiple times. But what really bugs me is that, okay, now let's be very realistic, okay? Religion is very sexist. It is built on a whole system of sexism to make sure that women are meant to be, like, you know, take care of the house while men
Yeah.
go do the work.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of women quote something like the Bible, and they talk about how it justifies their hate, while they don't realize that the same Bible tells them that they should be stoned if they aren't a virgin when they get married.
Yeah, no, like a lot, because the world back then was more this thing, you know. So
Yeah, of course.
we are, but
it's
yeah,
been
I
updated.
understand.
So
Yeah, it's
you-
been updated.
you
Yeah.
can't you can't pick out certain phrases just to hate on the people
Yeah.
you have a bias against.
Yeah.
And ignore the same thing that has bias.
Yeah,
against
exactly.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
You either acknowledge that it has problems, which every philosophy, every kind of thought
yeah,
has a
everything
problem.
has issues. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's not timeless. You know, it has to be modified. Yeah.
Yeah, so you either say like, okay, you know what, my religion might say that, okay, maybe people say that my religion says that I should hate you, but my religion also says that people should hate me, and I don't want
Yeah.
that, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to be hated either, so let's
Yeah.
get along.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
makes things much easier when people actually follow the idea of it and not
Yeah,
just
you
the
don't have to
bastardization.
follow it like to a T, you know. You can like, or you
Yeah.
can also choose and pick what you like, you know. You don't have to like go 100% into it.
Yeah, like for example, even in Buddhism,
Yeah,
Buddhism is supposed to be a vegetarian culture.
Yeah.
Most Buddhists are vegetarian, but in China and Tibet, there are a lot of people who eat non-veg as Buddhists, especially when it's given to them, because they're like, they gave me food, I'm not going to waste the food, and that is fine. But you know, that's not a bastardization of the whole thing.
Yeah,
You're-
it's not,
you're given food.
definitely.
You're not killing the animal yourself. You're not going against what mindfulness that was being taught.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
taking your food in a mindful way.
Yeah, and they also don't like, they also like the, when they kill an animal, they don't see it as like, they don't waste, you know, they consume every single like part of it. And
Yeah, but even Buddhists who eat meat never actually kill the meat themselves.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
only eat meat when it's given to them as part of the alms.
yeah.
Because they don't believe in hurting other creatures. I mean that's why if you guys have seen the Netflix show Chef's Table, you have the
Oh, dude, I was just going to talk about that.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite episodes, you know. It's beautiful. Like, it's actually so beautiful. Her life is amazing. Yeah.
She even talks about how her father was scared of how she would survive without meat. And she made him shiitake mushrooms, and he was like, "Yes, you don't need meat if you have this."
Yeah.
Like, it just
She's a
very
fucking,
nice.
she's amazing, dude. Yeah. What's her name, dude? We need to. Jeong Kwan. Jeong
Am I,
freaking
going,
Kwan.
am I going to have to look through this
No.
and then get a
Jeong Kwan. Jeong Kwan is fucking amazing. She's an amazing person. Like, dude, like you see, you're watching that episode, okay? You're like, okay, this looks like, of course, it's beautiful. You know, like Buddhist temples are fucking beautiful places in like countryside South Korea. It's beautiful, okay? And after that, you see her creativity. You see what she does with the food. It blew my mind. I couldn't believe that it looks so beautiful. You know.
and she has no professional training as a chef.
Yeah.
or anything. She's just
It's
her.
just her. I was actually in shock, you know, when I said it was one of the most beautiful episodes. It was like amazing
and
fucking
she cooks
show.
for people
Yeah.
who judge professional chefs.
Yeah.
So that makes it even better.
I was mind blown. I was actually mind blown when I saw her creativity. You know, it's so
And it's all
crazy.
simple. There isn't like
Yeah,
much
it's simple.
cooking.
Yeah. It's just the way she does it, dude. Like, holy shit. She's amazing.
You feel
legit.
this wave of peace as you watch the episode. Each dish
Yeah.
just fills you with satisfaction without you even tasting it. You're just
Yeah.
eating it, you're like, wow.
Dude, it made me emotional watching
at
watching that, you know. It's
Yeah, if
beautiful
something makes you
episode.
emotional, you better believe it's very.
Yes, it's
He
very
has a heart of stone.
yes, very few things. But yeah, it's one of my favorite episodes, dude, from Chef's Table.
Yeah.